There we go. Now we should have me. We good now? There we go. All right, here we go tonight with the FMA FFTv Cup Series as we get started here tonight. We got the grid coming up here. Let's see if we can get this to come up correctly. There we go. Here comes the grid here for this July 9th. Well, okay. Well, whatever. Come on. There we go. So we got Justin Wilkinson there out front. Evan Gomet there in second. Sage Greco third. Ben Parson fourth. Ollie Ferguson there fifth. Clay Sarton will start sixth. Curtis Shields seventh. Brian Peters eighth. Nick Tucker in ninth. Mark Nelson 10th. Chase Matsko will roll off tonight in 11th. Matt Mars in 12th. 13th is going to go to Robert Howard. Graham Connolly in 14th. Joseph Spillman there 15th. Daryl Whitford in 16th. John Dubai in 17th. Dan Rosington there in 18th. Andrew Kahn there in 19th. And James Apaw there in 20th. Looks to be a 20-car field here tonight. As we get rolling here, congrats here to everybody coming in to join us here at Fleeger Farm TV. No, we got done with the grid. I want to see this. There we go. 75 laps the distance as we get set to rock and roll here tonight. Who's ready for some dramatic racing here from Nashville? As the driver gets set up side by side. This is the Nashville Super Speedway. In the Gen 4 Cup cars. Newly redesigned here on iRacing. Down here through corner two, down that back straightaway here on lap number one. Justin Wilkinson there out front. Let's get a look at who we are on board with. Evan Gomet here in second as he looks there to the inside, hanging it down there against that yellow line. Hold on to it, coming off the corner. Up there across the top side as they come back down there across the start-finish line. Heading back down into corner number one. Here they go. Evan Gomet there. All right, hopefully we're back here racing as we get everything situated here. Trying to get our cameras back online. Just give me a moment as we work our best to get everything situated. All right, here we are, back racing again. Hopefully this went back up live where it was. We're on board here, trying to figure out who we're with. And head on down through here. There's our overlay once again. We got Ollie Ferguson there, trying to work his way on through the field here, lap number 19. Coming up here to a third of the way through the race. And if I'm thinking correctly, we've got 2 pit stops. If I'm thinking correctly, we'll have to wait and see if that is correct as they work on down through here off of the corner and onto the backstretch. Out of Portland, Connecticut comes that number 68 of Evan Gomet, looking underneath the 99 of Justin Wilkinson, taking the lead down here through 1 and 2. Out here onto the backstretch they go once again. As long as, onto the front stretch. I'm getting turned around here. Down here off of the stripe, down, heading towards turn number 1. There's a map so we can kind of keep track of where we're at. As you see, the cars are really spread out now. Down here, crossed off onto turn number 2. As some of these drivers are working, you got James Affaw there in the number 2. He's working off of turn number 4, coming back out onto the front stretch. And I noticed that give me a moment, we got one small issue, but we'll get it straightened away here. Just give me one moment. There we go. That problem will be fixed momentarily. Just wait for everything to come back in, as these cars are not painted as they should be. Give it one moment. Here we go. They're going to start coming in now. They come down the bound the backstretch here. We're looking at the 99 out in the lead. Evan Gomet there in second. As they work here, as you see, the car's kind of gray out a moment as it loads them paint scheme back in as the proper schemes. As you see at 68 working on down there, you got the 55, Ben Carson back here in that 4th position, running that number 33. Gotta really say, Ollie, though, up here in 3rd spot right now. He comes up 17 spots as he works down through the backstretch. Coming down there through into turn 3 and 4. If I'm, oh, wait, no, am I turned around? No, I'm not. They're coming out to the front stretch now as he goes underneath, looking to see if he can get that 2nd spot away from the 68. That 55 is there. Wait a moment. No, I'm sorry. 68 to 99 are fighting for position. The 55 of Ollie's watching that battle out the front windshield as they work on down the backstretch now. Ollie is there, set up 17 positions, as we said. Biggest dropper of the night so far is Andrew Kahn back here in 11th, down 9 spots from where he started. Dan Brazington also down, but not quite as bad. He's down 8 positions back here in 18th. Darrell Whitford down 7th spot. He's running around here in about 19th position in that number 20 here tonight. Checking in on Chase Matsko up here, started 9th, sitting here in 10th right now as he comes there through turns 1 and 2. Heading on to that backstretch, currently sitting there, as we said, in 10th, rounding out your top 10 there tonight. Struggling, trying to keep that car under his control as he rides down there all along that yellow line, coming there off of 4. He's got that number 1 of Nick Tucker there in front of him, out of Snellville, Georgia. Ben Parson up there in the 33. Sitting 3rd. Ollie got around there and got up to 2nd. As there we see Justin Wilkinson up there in front. He's got lap cars in front of him. That looks to be, I want to say, is that Dan Brasinger there in front of him? I want to say so. Out of Woodliff, North Carolina. There it is down there way on the bottom. Okay. Wasn't sure if it was North Carolina or North Dakota at the moment, but it's Woodliff, North Carolina. As they work here through off of the corner, heading back out onto that backstretch. As you see them all rolling down here. And again, sorry for the interruption there on the stream. It went down for some reason. I lost the internet or something. I have not a clue. But we're back, strolling now, running well as we come down through here off the corner. You see that 99 running well. You got Ollie Ferguson there in the 55 in 2nd. He's having a great run here. Now we see Evan Gomet there in the 68 trying to get underneath the 33 of Ben Parson as they come here out of turn number 2 down that back straightaway. A little farther back, we got Ryan Peters and Graham Connolly back here. As Graham Connolly's got Joseph Spillman there behind him. Looking down there to the inside goes Spillman, trying to make something happen in that machine down there on the bottom side. That's Chevy Monte Carlo battling for position. I'm hoping at some point here in iRacing's future we get more of the Gen 4 cars. Right now we just have the Chevy in the 4, but I also know there was Dodge at one point, so we'll have to see. I know there's been talk about Dodge coming back into NASCAR as well. Been rumored for many years, but I think this is our most promising lead, as I've heard that for the trucks, starting in 2026, they are coming into the series. So fingers crossed that will be the case. Robert Howard down there on pit road in that number 50. We got somebody else joining them down there on pit road, I thought. Trying to see here. Might be Clay Sarton. Yes, Clay Sarton joining them down there on pit road. Justin Wilkinson out front. Ollie Ferguson there in 2nd. Ben Parson 3rd. Evan Gomet in 4th. Sage Greco 5th. Those are your top 5 drivers. Greco running that number 7 DeWalt machine. As he gets up there behind that Snap-on 68. Running here through the front stretch, down there in the corner number 1 they go once again. Everybody looped around the racetrack. Don't see too many problems here so far. Now we're over a third of the way. Coming up here to lap 31. Let's go ahead and figure out when is halfway here. That might be an interesting factoid here. We get things situated. Bring up the calculator. We got 75 laps by 2. 37.5. So when they're on the backstretch of lap 37, or rather lap 38, whenever they're on lap 38 coming down through the backstretch, that will be 37.5 laps, and that'll be halfway. We see Mark Nelson there in 6th, Curtis Shields there in 7th, Nick Tucker back here 8th, Chase Matsko 9th as he gets around Andrew Kahn. Andrew Kahn now back here in 10th, Ryan Peters 8th. Well, I'm sorry, in the down. He's up 8 positions, sitting in 11th. Got Graham Connolly here in 12th, that number 71, as they work down through the front straightaway once again. Down here through the corner, back onto the front stretch they go, as that number 71 works there off of 2, back on onto the backstretch. Justin Wilkinson works his way out there through turn 4, out across the stripe, back down into corner number 1. You got Ollie Ferguson there as the 99 gets underneath the lap car. And here comes Ollie. He's now going to make quick work of that lap machine as well. We do have a few lap cars there in the mix, possibly. We see that 33, Ben Parson, Evan Gomet, Sage there in the 7. That's 68 also all through there, trying to figure out. Whoa, the 68 getting loose, coming there out of 4th. Really hanging on to it. That is Evan Gomet having to do some real driving there as he comes off of turn 4. As he works now through turns 1 and 2. You got that 2 up there on the high side. That's James Afaw, who's a lap down. Stuck here up on top as the drivers now work below him. As you see, that 55, Ollie Ferguson rolling through there. Ben Parson down on the inside. Sage Greco also. Evan Gomet there in 5th. Mark Nelson 6th. Nick Tucker in 7th. Curtis Shields there 8th. Chase Matsko in 9th. Andrew Kahn there in 10th as they work here off the backstretch down through the front. You see Justin Wilkinson there working off of 2 back out onto that backstretch. Ben Parsons sitting back here 3rd. Sage Greco, he's moving a great job moving up through the field. He's up in 11 spots from where he started. Down here through in the corner number 3 now. Just shy of halfway here shortly. Down here through off the corner. As you see, that number 7 getting there underneath. Having to try to watch it. He doesn't get arrow loose there. That 68's pushing along. Up into the wall goes Sage Greco as they come back down through across the stripe, heading toward turn number 1. Here at lap number 38. Just a short little while from halfway as Justin Wilkinson comes out of the turn down that back straightaway, crosses the marker. It is now halfway through the race. They head into corner number 3. Ollie Ferguson there at 2nd. Sage Greco there 3rd. We got one down there on the bottom. Chase Matsko's coming in here to the pits at halfway. So maybe just one pit stop. Whoa, look out. We got them all coming in now. The 21, John Dubai, getting a baseball there of the 68 as they come on the pit road. Great job navigating, staying off one another. There comes the 33, Ben Parson. Ollie Ferguson now takes the lead here as that leaders take to pit road. Will Ollie come in this time by? That is yet to be seen. As Chase Matsko rolls off of pit road. One of the first ones in, I believe, here at halfway. He's got that 55, Ollie Ferguson out there, or the 50, I'm sorry. 50 out in front of him there. That's Robert Howard. I thought I saw somebody there. Chase Masco lap down there to Ollie and company. James Apaw there also. We'll have to see how well this plays out. Can get quite interesting to see exactly. Yellow flag is out. Robert Howard ends up off track. Caution here, lap number 40. Hey, see the 50. Loses it down through the infield he goes. Loops it around. That's going to be a single car incident here tonight. Bringing out the caution up there on the front straightaway. Down through the infield grass. Oh, that'll bunch everybody up here just a little after halfway. Not what some of these drivers wanted to see, as that very well could trap them a lap down. The likes of James Apaw, Clay Sart, and Dan Brassinger, Chase Batsko, Graham Connolly, Joseph Spillman. Robert Howard is having issues down there on the bottom side of the racetrack. Okay, Robert Howard. Interesting. Staying. He must not have had the green light to come in yet. Everybody comes around here. James Apaw. Clay Sarton. Into 66. We'll see how this stacks up. And we got leaders down on pit road. Ollie Ferguson, Curtis Shields, Nick Tucker. We got the 5 of Ryan Peters. Ollie Ferguson coming out first on pit road. He's going to beat the pack out, so he's going to trap a few of these guys that most likely lap down, maybe. We'll see here how it comes out. James Apaw still on pit road, now down and away. Ollie Ferguson is checked out as our leader. So I'm going to guess some of these drivers are going to get waved around the pace car. I'll let Ollie back up front. I see the 50 going there to get going down. Going around turn 1. There goes 66, 99, 68. Yeah, they're all getting a wave arounds here. Chase Matsko should be next to go around. Joseph Spillman coming around. Dan Brassinger. Well, maybe not. Dan Brassinger is going to stay a lap down. Now we see Ollie Ferguson taking the lead. Doing a great job here tonight as Sage Greco also out there in front. Ryan Peters, another guy that's moved up quite a bit. He's up 13 spots, sitting here in 6th in that number 5 machine. And a little bit farther back, James Apaw in that 2, up 10 spots. Not what some of these drivers wanted. They did not want to see that caution come out in the middle of the pit cycle. Now we're closing in to 20 to go. Well, 30 to go. Down across the stripe, green flag wave. Sage Greco out front. Ollie Ferguson out front. Sage Greco trying to chase him up here on the top side. Mark Nelson doing a great job. Whoa! And there goes Sage kicking out a little bit. Ended up the racetrack. He's going to have drivers dashed underneath him now. Here comes Ryan Peters. He's getting up there. Ollie Ferguson, great job tonight as he's up 19 spots. Ryan Peters up 15. Sage Greco losing it there on the restart a little bit. Has to try to regain control, but still doing a great job as he's up 10 spots. Mark Nelson there in 2nd, rolling down there along the bottom side. We're on board here with Mark Nelson out of Pierre, South Dakota. On to the backstretch they roll. Nick Tucker here in 3rd. They fight side by side there for fourth and fifth between Ryan Peters and Sage Greco. Sage Greco up there on the high side. Ryan Peters down there on the inside. Curtis Shields there behind him in at number 90. Chase Masco trying to roll his way back up through the field after having that small issue with pit road where, he ended up a lap down there. Graham Connolly going down pit lane and is coming out now. So Graham Connolly now back out on track. Robert Howard once again off track down through the infield once again. Toes it to the pits. Might be it for Robert Howard tonight. He is struggling here in the FMA circuit as they roll down here into corner number 1. Ollie Ferguson out front. Mark Nelson there second. Nick Tucker there third. Ryan Peters fourth. Sage Greco back here fifth with Curtis Shields there sixth. Andrew Kahn in seventh as Evan Gomet there in eighth. Justin Wilkinson there in ninth. Clay Sarton rolls there in 10th. Ben Parson in 11th. I just see them battle it out for that 10th position. Ben Parson moves himself up there to 10th for momentarily. He battles on the inside. Whoa, and that 66 hangs it out there. Coming there through turns 3 and 4, heading back across the stripe. Keep an eye on that 66 as he tried to bring it there through turns 1 and 2. Try to keep it underneath you. Don't want to get that rear end to step out again. That is kind of shaky whenever that rear end does that. And he's got Chase Masco now working to his inside, trying to get that 11th spot away from Clay Sarton. As the field's all grouped back up here as they roll down through 3 and 4, back out across the stripe. How about here at lap number 50? We go and try to crank it up. Go and heat it up here, wake up our little friend, see if it works out. All right, 26 laps to go. We get rolling here down into corner number 1 once again, coming across that stripe. Ollie Ferguson out front. Got a mireful of Mark Nelson as they head on down through here. 25 laps to go. Nick Tucker in third. Yeah, he's got Sage Greco working there. Whoa, Sage hangs it out there coming out of turn number 2. Brian Peters there fifth. Got some big movers up here as Sage Greco's up 11. Brian Peters up 14. Ollie Ferguson up the most, up 19 spots. In that number 55 here tonight, doing such a phenomenal job keeping that car under his control as they roll down here into corner number 1. Mark Nelson doing everything he can to try to get a line there, try to catch up there to Ollie, which he very well may as they work here off the corner. Trying to see what that gap is right at the moment. He's about, I want to say about 30 or 3/10 of a second back off of Ferguson. Having issue trying to close that last little bit. As he's starting about position 15, they're down a lap. And they all come rolling through here. Sage Greco there in third, side by side there for 4th and 5th. Where's that 5th and 6th? Oh, 4th and 5th there with Evan Gomet and Nick Tucker. 6th and 7th here with Ryan Peters and Andrew Kahn. And battling out a little bit behind that is Justin Wilkinson. They roll down here into corner number 1. Whoa, at number 89, I believe or 39 rather, of Andrew Kahn. Hanging it out, coming down into the corner, really letting that back end slide. Coming down that back straightaway. Into corner number 3, 22 laps to go as they come back around here. Graham Connolly struggling here tonight. I see him way back here on the field. And I just see him going around on that track map, that number 71. Now we see Ollie Ferguson come down there in the corner number 1. Mark Nelson got it down to a 0.2 of a second here with 21 laps to go. As we said, it's a struggle to try to get these cars to really battle it out. As long as you're hitting your marks, we're back on board here with Ollie Ferguson coming back around off of turn number 4. As you see, he's really trying to wheel that car, shaking that wheel left and right, trying to keep that car underneath it. Mark Nelson back here in a second. Sage Greco there third. Evan Gomet in fourth. Nick Tucker fifth. That is your top 5 as it stands right now. James Afaw having issues as he ends up back here. Round on the front stretch. Ended up off track here a little bit ago. 20 laps to go. Soon to be 19 as Ollie brings them off of turn number 4. There you see Mark Nelson trying to keep that car steady. The smoother you're on the wheel, the quicker your lap times can be. So you got to be real smooth on that wheel. You don't want to be jerking it left and right. Don't really want to be losing too much as they come here off the corner. There you see him down there on the bottom side working off. He's now got himself back into about a 0.35 second of a gap. Over top of Mark Nelson as Ferguson rolls down here into corner number 3 and 4 once again. Nick Tucker back here in 5th, down 2 spots. Sage Greco up 11 spots as he rolls down through the front straightaway in that DeWalt number 7. Looking really good here with 18 laps to go down into corner number 1. They're starting to space out a little bit more. As we see Joseph Spillman back here coming into corner number 1 now with the 21. John Dubai not far behind him. And John Dubai, I don't know if you understand this, but you understand there's a curse for running Looney Tunes on your car? I mean, you might want to look that YouTube video up. It's quite interesting, learning about the curse of the Looney Tunes on the NASCAR. They never did really finish well in their races. Great promotional idea, but some called it a curse. And as I said, there is a video out there on YouTube. I've watched it. It's definitely quite interesting to learn about the curse of the Looney Tunes. Evan Gomet here in 3rd, working his way back up through as he's now got himself back in the 3rd spot, up a position from where he started. Nick Tucker, he's down 2 spots. He started in 3rd, now he's back here in 5th. Andrew Kahn in 6th. Ryan Peters in 7th, up 12 spots. Fingers crossed that is how it reads. I'm hoping anyway. Otherwise, my scoreboard's off. I'm hoping I'm reading it right. Now we've got Ollie Ferguson out front, 16 laps to go. Mark Nelson there 2nd. Evan Gomet there in 3rd. Sage Greco 4th. Nick Tucker 5th. Andrew Kahn there 6th. Ryan Peters back here 7th. Ben Parson there in 9th. Now with Justin Wilkinson moving up there into 8th. Now Parson takes back 8th position as Wilkinson falls back. Oh, hang on to it, Wilkinson. That number 99 getting a little loosey-goosey coming off of turn number 2. As now they work down into quarter number 3, coming to the line. 14 laps to go here from Nashville Superspeedway. What a great run here tonight by these front 2 drivers. Evan Gomet here in 3rd, also having a great night. Is Sage Greco back here in 4th. Ryan Peters up 12 spots, sitting in 7th with that WCW World Championship Wrestling rolling down that back straightaway in that 5 machine. Looking real good, sitting in 7th right now. Who's your drivers to pick here tonight? And they head on down into the corner. Looking out, here they go. 13 laps to go. We got a caution. Clay Sarton off track. There you see him down through that infield in that 66. Oh, Chase, what are you doing? Chase comes off the corner. It looks like he's going to take it all the way up that outside wall. bounce off of it when he comes down. He's going to hit that 66, sending him down through the infield. And when he comes back off the infield, he scoots it along, getting sideways. And that there is what's going to bring out the caution. Little help there from Chase Matsko. Everybody coming down pit road. I'm going to guess 4 tires. Here's Mark Nelson pulling into his pit stall. We'll see if it's fuel only or, yep, tires going on that number 86 machine. There you see Evan Gomet. He's also going to take tires in that 68 machine. Sage Greco. Everybody getting tires and underway. There goes Ollie Ferguson. He's going to win the race off pit road. Mark Nelson in second. Sage Greco will get third. Evan Gomet fourth as the race continues off of pit road here. Now these drivers get back in line, coming back off of the back stretch. There you see that number 29 of Dan Brassington coming down pit road in that number 29. Daryl Whitford stays out in that number 20. John Dubai, he's going to be back here in that number 21 in 17th position. Tough break goes to Robert Howard tonight, down 13 spots from where he started. I'm pretty sure he called it a night. And most likely so did Matt Mars. I don't see Matt Mars out here in the field. Number 34. And a number 50. I'm not seeing either one of those numbers on track. 20. Whitford's going to get the wave around. And everybody else lines up side by side. Mark Nelson out of Pierre, South Dakota, up there on the top side. Here we got Ollie Ferguson down there on the inside. Sage Greco, he's sitting here in third with Evan Gomet up there on the top side in fourth from Portland, Connecticut. Down there in fifth, out of Snellville, Georgia, is Nick Tucker. Ryan Peters up there on the top side. Andrew Kahn in seventh down there on the inside. Justin Wilkinson up there on the top side, right behind him. In the next row is Ben Parson out of Dalton, Georgia. Curtis Shields rounding out your top 10. They're coming down here in the corner, number 3. Everybody's getting excited, getting ready here as we wind down to 9 laps to go when they come across the stripe. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in here to Flager Farm TV on the pole here tonight. We take on the last 10 laps of FMA FFTv Cup Series this evening. There you go, side by side, that pace car's in. Ready for the restart. Here we go. Down that front straightaway, down towards turn number 1. And Mark Nelson getting a great, Ollie Ferguson up there getting a great start. Sage Greco there trying to battle along Mark Nelson, and he does so for the time being. As they're side-by-side coming there off of 2 down that back straightaway. Who's it going to be? Looks like Mark's going to get him on the top side. Sage now has to work down on the inside. Here comes that 68 of Evan Gomet. Gomet down there looking to see if he can get underneath that 7 of Sage as they work here off of 4. Getting a little loose down there is the 1 of Nick Tucker. As we said, we're 3 wide here tonight. For the first time there, you see that 33 of Ben Parson get caught in the middle. The 99 of Justin Wilkinson up there on the top side. There you see the 5 now trying to work his way up through. That's Ryan Peters up 14 spots. He tries to chase down this man, Evan Gomet, who's really right at the bumper of that 7 machine as the 7 of Sage Greco battled beside Mark Nelson once again. Down there and holding on to it. Sage gets shoved up the racetrack a little bit there from the wind. And now here comes Evan Gomet looking underneath. 7 laps to go. Here as they battle it out up here at the top of the race, at the top of the radar board. Ollie Ferguson out front with a little bit over a half a second gap between him and Mark Nelson. Gomet back here 3rd. Sage Greco 4th. Ryan Peters back here 5th. Ben Parsons 6th. He's down there on the inside. Look out, that one getting a little loose once again as they head off of 4. Along that 20, I'm trying to figure out who's where now. They roll down through the front straightaway. That's the 39 of Andrew Kahn down there that I'm watching. That Motorcraft number 39. I almost called it the 21, but I knew that wasn't right. Because 21 is John Dubai, who's rolling back there in that Tasmanian Devil number Motorcraft, or Good Wrench machine. Down there through the stripe, down into corner number 1 they go. Ollie Ferguson out front. What a night here for him. As Mark Nelson's there in second, trying to chase him down. Evan Gomet there in third. Sage Greco for it. Ryan Peters fifth. Ben Parson there in sixth. Nick Tucker in eighth. As Clay Sarton, well, I'll have to scratch that. Clay Sarton's trying to battle it out there. Nick Tucker goes down there to the inside, looking really good. Curtis Shields goes around here. Chase Matsko went off track. We're going to see if Chase was at the nose of another one here with 5 laps to go. Oh, boy, that is not what you want to see. As the 90 of Curtis Shields back there, he got behind, got that 26 there of Chase Matsko right up there against his bumper. Sending Curtis Shields around. Almost like he was holding Matsko up a little bit. Matsko tried to back off. That 90 backs off some more. And it was just a disaster from the... Oh, just a disaster waiting for him to happen here. Chase Matsko now gets caught up in something else. We'll see here. Oh! Okay, then. Try to see who got a hold of Chase. That's the 29 of Dan Brassinger, Dan Brassinger comes down and just sideswipes Chase right up into the outside wall. Oh, boy, there's going to be some heated words after this one, I'm sure. Somebody's going to meet somebody back at the hauler. Green-white checker here. Ollie Ferguson, your leader. Doing really well on the short run. How well is this going to play out? We're about to find out. As Chase Matz goes down there on pit road, or no, he's back out here sitting in 11th. Sure, he's not happy. Clay Sarton up here in 8th. Ryan Peters up here 5th. Some of you guys having a great night, as we said. Others not having such a good night. Howard out, Mars out. Connolly down 3 laps. Brassington down in the pits. Everything Mark Dowson up here in 2nd. Him and Ollie Ferguson been battling out quite a bit here as they come here out of the next corner. Coming off of 2. Side by side, lights are out. We're going to go back green flag racing here in just a moment. Here from Nashville Super Speedway, these drivers putting on a show. Having Ollie Ferguson down there on the bottom side, leading the pack, your control car. Mark Dowson up there controlling that outside lane. I think somebody got to talk to Brassinger after the race. That was not a move to make. Trying to keep them tires, getting them sticky. Trying to make sure that they don't lose grip here on the restart. And I see Mark Dowson here on the front straightaway. Green flag will drop. They're down and away. You better go get through them gears and catch that inside line there, Mark, as they get out there. Evan Gomet gets up there in the 2nd spot. Great jump from the bottom side. And they work down here in the quarter number 3. Mark Dowson in 3rd now with Sage Greco there 4th. But look out, Ryan Peters, he's looking to make a move down there on the inside. Gomet up in that outside wall once again. 2 laps to go. They come here through turns 3 and 4. Heading down there on the inside. Jake Masco still hanging in there in 11th. Evan Gomet there second. The top 10 is going to be Andrew Kahn back here, rounding out your top 10 as they roll down through. Clay Sarton there in 9th. Battles happening all through the pack here. You see, there goes the 7 of Sage Greco working up Bob Mark Nelson to see if he can get into that corner. As they work down the back straightaways, bringing it up side by side. There's trouble coming out of turn number 2. As they work down the back straightaway, side by side is Sage and Mark. Ollie Ferguson out front with Evan Gomet there second. Coming here off of turn number 3 and 4. They are side by side there. Hold on, who's it going to be? Looks like it's going to be Mark at the line. As Mark kind of drifts it there. Great job there hanging on to that one. As they work down through the back, working on to the back here. Great job by Ollie Ferguson to try to bringing it up through the field tonight, starting down there towards the bottom. And I want to say 20th position. I'm not sure. We'll have to find out exactly where Ollie Ferguson started. He either started 19th or 20th. I'm going to say 20th, but like I said, I could be wrong. Trying to figure out where they started. What a night there for Ollie. See if we can get with our winner here, or with our podium here. See if we can find Mark. Let's see here. Good evening, Mark. You got a copy?
I got you.
All right, how's it going tonight?
I was tired before I started this race, so I'm pretty much drained now.
Oh, I'm sure you got quite the fight on your hands just to try to save a podium.
Yeah, no kidding. These cars were, I have to say, kind of a nightmare to drive, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. I mean, it took every single muscle in my body working in concert to try to get this car around every single lap. And when I got lucky with that mid-race caution and all those guys that had been running away with it got behind me, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to try to pick up the pace a little bit. And I almost got the lead once or twice, but I'll take third. I honestly was beginning to wonder if I was even going to make a top 5, so I'll take it.
Yeah, there was some tough competition out there tonight, honestly, and you guys did a great job in holding on to the car. I mean, it's definitely not an easy feat tonight to get these cars around the track, and we saw quite a few of you step it out.
Yeah, like I said, it took every muscle working in concert and just the perfect throttle control to keep the cars under control exiting the corner. They were pretty easy to enter. If anything, they were a little bit tight, but there's just, when you're coming out of the corner with the wheel turned, it just wants to keep going left. So you actually end up straightening the wheel out way sooner than you think you would.
Well, it definitely looked like some of you were trying to counteract that also by turning that car right coming out of the corner.
I guess so, but usually if you started to lose it, it was already too late. You were probably going to crash.
Some of you, rocking that wheel left and right, trying to keep that car underneath you.
No, we were all doing that. I think everybody would agree that was a pretty tiring race. Very difficult cars to drive.
All righty. Well, you got third tonight. You got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank?
Just thanks to you, Adam, for your broadcast and all your supporters. Thanks to anybody that watches and supports me, and thanks to my wife.
All righty. Well, congrats again there on third place tonight. Hopefully you try to keep these cars under control as we go into the next week.
Yeah, I could use an easy race next week after that, for sure.
Oh, I don't know if we consider it easy.
Easier. I'll take easier.
Because it looks like we might be, we're at Chicagoland.
Chicagoland. That'll be easier, I think.
You hope.
I hope.
All right, well, you have yourself a great night, Mark, and enjoy that third place as well as you can.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it.
All right, I have Mark Nelson. Now we'll get with Evan Gomet. Good evening, Evan. How's it going?
It's going good. How about you?
Oh, it's going well. It's going well. I mean, you did a great job tonight keeping the car under control, getting up there a couple spots. I mean, definitely the ones that finished top 5 definitely had a battle going on.
Yeah, that was a lot of work and a very tiring race, even though it was only 75 laps.
That seems to be the consensus here, that it was not an easy car to get around this racetrack.
No, it was a very tire-saving race, and if you blew your rears off, you were done. So, learned a lot from the Xfinity race at Texas on Sunday and moved forward from that.
Well, how important were tires tonight?
They were everything. I mean, if you didn't have tires, you were going to the back. It was obvious to see around lap 25, 30 who saved better than the other ones, and you dropped like an anchor if you didn't save.
We kind of saw that a few times where you could see the wheels starting to go away, or the tires start to go away. It started to dip out a little bit more than what you should.
Yeah, it was corner exit was rough, but all in all, a good race.
It definitely was a good race, and congrats to second there tonight. You got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank for getting you into second place here on the podium?
I want to thank all Freedom Motorsports Alliance. Great group. I want to personally shout out Graham Connolly. He knows why. I want to shout out to the name of the race, Mark Nelson Loves Ford 100. And I want to shout out Hometown Garage.
Alrighty, well, congrats on second place tonight, and hopefully you can continue this momentum going into Chicagoland next week.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, you have yourself a great night there, Evan.
You too.
All right, that was Evan. Now let's see if we can get with Ollie. Good evening, Ollie. This is Adam in the booth. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing well. How's your arms after that one?
Actually, pretty good. The car was handling really good for me on the long run, and kind of just kept it out front all night, and was there at the right time for the pit strategy.
Well, I mean, the cautions might have came into play with that pit strategy, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to run a little bit long just to see if I could get a little bit of a tire advantage, but when the yellow came out there, it was just like, oh, this is perfect. Going to come out in the lead and still have fresh tires.
You did a great job. Where did you start tonight's race?
I believe I started 5th place.
Started where?
5th. 5.
5. Okay, so 5th. So my scoreboard's off then. That's what I was trying to figure out. Because my scoreboard's saying you came up through the field from 19th.
Yeah, not quite that much of a run up through the front, but it was definitely fun to drive through the first couple laps there and get up to second. And then when I think it was Justin pitted, it was just perfect timing when the yellow came out.
Well, I knew I had issues whenever my internet, something crashed here on my PC, and I had to restart the stream and everything. So that could be where my hiccup is. But you know what? I'll ask where exactly he started. So my numbers are off most definitely if it's saying you started in 19th.
Oh, that would have been quite the accomplishment, but not quite tonight.
Well, I mean, you still had a stacked field behind you, so, I mean, still getting a win here nonetheless is still something to be proud of.
Oh, yeah, for sure. This track is super tough, and these cars here is just a blast, and I really hope that these guys come here again next season with these cars and this track, because it's a ton of fun.
Well, I heard some other guys saying that the cars were very hard to drive here tonight.
Yeah, it was a little bit up towards the looser side from center off, and entry was super tight, so you had to almost just pitch it perfect on entry to where if you went past a certain point, you were definitely going to have a hell of a ride going through the rest of the corner.
Yeah, we definitely seen a lot of shaking of the wheel going through corners and off as they worked around the track tonight.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely a blast.
Well, you got sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank for helping you get that victory here tonight as you put that car in the victory lane?
Yeah, I got to thank MVRP Exhaust and Overkill Enterprise. They sponsor my real race car, and it's only right to have them on the sim race car as well.
All righty. Well, thanks a lot for coming out, and hopefully you can continue this momentum through Chicagoland next week.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for having me, guys.
All righty. Well, congrats again on your victory, and we'll see you around.
Thank you.
All right, Ollie Ferguson, our winner for tonight. Here's our final grid here. Ollie Ferguson, as we said, your winner. Evan Gomet there in second. Mark Nelson third. Sage Greco fourth. Ryan Peters fifth. Nick Tucker there sixth, with Justin Wilkinson there seventh. Andrew Kahn eighth. Chase Matsko in ninth. Joseph Spillman there in 10th. Clay Sarton in 11th. James Afaw there 12th. Daryl Whitford there 13th. John Dubai in 14th. Curtis Shields finishes there in 15th. Ben Parson in 16th. Graham Connolly there in 17th. Dan Brassinger in 18th. Robert Howard in 19th. Matt Mars 20th. And that will be your field here tonight, I believe. That is. So thank you all for coming out and joining the race tonight. I will say thanks, everybody, for watching. Stay tuned on Figure Farm TV network to see more racing action as we go tomorrow night, taking on Coast to Coast. Thank you so much for watching.